standard deviation, again, I don't ask you that part, so we don't really need the standard deviation for what we're doing or the service level. We're going to do this formula, and so all you got to do is plug it in. It's just that simple. So let me see where did I get things from. So I did the numerator. Sometimes I'll actually do a numerator and then I'll do a denominator and then do the final, so I can troubleshoot it easier. But the numerator is 2 times D, the demand, annual demand, 15, so that's B3 in this case, and times S is red, order cost, yeah, order cost, setup cost, Remember they use the names interchangeably. And then H is the holding cost, and again, the holding cost, I had to use two factors. I had to use the cost times the 40% to come up with how much it was. And remember, by putting the 2 up here, I'm having that inventory. So it's, and then I come up, and then I like to just, I don't do the square root function, I raise it to the 0.5 power. Same thing. And then when you get through with that, that's how easy it is. Now, there's some harder questions you can ask, and this is what I want to make sure you guys can understand. I'll always do, in this case, I just did a plain round, not a round up, not a round down, just a plain round. Remember, the EOQ is so flat at that bottom, near that point, that you just round. Now, then you go down and talk about, well, how many orders am I placing in a year? And oh, here's something. How much did my holding cost? Well, how much was my holding cost overall? So I did that calculation, which is at 40% times the 640. So all I really did was I came up with, well, what was, I could have actually used this in that formula too. I just did that so that I know what the holding cost is. So the order size, I just went ahead and just listed some order sizes. So I could make this chart, and I just picked 5, 10, 15, 20, and we ended up with what? We ended up wanting 55. So I counted by files for ways, then I started counting by other numbers. Now here's if I order 10, my average inventory, if I order 55, my average inventory is 27 and a half. It's half of it, right? So you got to know what your average inventory is. Then how many orders per year you place? Remember, you take your annual amount and divide it by your order size. Real simple. I leave decimals in it. I don't round it. And then what's the annual holding cost? Well, the annual holding cost is going to have to do with what's my average inventory times the holding cost per unit per year. So it's 27 and a half times 256 will be my annual holding cost. That makes sense? See, it should be real intuitive if you just think your way across. So what am I going to, first I got to know how many times I order in order to know what my order cost is. So now I know I'm going to order 279 times 0.6, 279.6 times, and then I go back up to what was my order cost, and it was a given value. The order cost was 25 bucks. So I'll take the 25 bucks times the, how many times I ordered, and that gives me the total amount in the year that I spent, how much money I spent on placing orders. And here's the holding cost. Now you'll notice that then I add all those together, I come up with the total cost. And what you should notice is that this price goes down and to hit that point and it starts going back up again.
Why did you start at 25? I mean, for the total cost. Something you want to do.
I did all of this and I'm gonna ask you questions like this.
Like on the total cost, I just want to know why you started at 25 for 18,000. Why did you start at 5? Why did you put the ratio at 5?
Oh, I could have put all them in there, but it got fucked up.
Okay, that's what you
Yeah, I didn't really care about, because I knew that was too far away.
Okay.
I really wanted to populate it near the actual value.
Okay.
So the curves for this do look like that. That's a good question. I just didn't go all the way to the axes.
Okay.
So how did you put those curves in?
I just plotted these values and I smoothed it, and took the Margaret points out. It's strictly a
So did you go to
Scatter
insert,
diagram.
scatter diagram?
scatter diagram, and I added 3 curves.
Okay,
One of them was this curve, one of them was this curve, and one was this curve.
okay.
All right.
And the horizontal line are these numbers. The X values.
Yeah, the X values are those and the Y values.
And the Y values are the
Okay,
dollars.
so-
So then you can see where the EOQ comes out on that curve. So this is all you really need to understand for the homework, I believe. I don't know, I don't think I've asked you any questions about, I don't think I asked you about like accuracy levels. What do I ask you? EOQ is really kind of simple. And I'll talk about all its weaknesses later. I'm trying to figure out